Apple. You almost did it. You were so close. I will be the first to admit that what I'm about to say might not be important to most people. I understand what I want in a phone may not be what the majority wants. Still, I think that the iPhone the iPhone 16e might be a bad move. First, let's take a step back and acknowledge the complete hose job Timmy Cook pulled with us with his tweet. Get ready to meet the newest member of the family. Of course, some people said, oh, well, that's just the new iPhone SE4 or whatever they're gonna call it. A lot of other people took it many steps further and said, well, it can't be the new SE because he said newest member. The budget iPhone is already in the family. It's like reading the title of a video, thinking it says one thing, you click on the video, watch most of it, and think, this isn't what the title said. You go back only to realize that you read it wrong. I guess changing the name could mean new family member, but come on, talk about a letdown. Now that I've got that out of my system, let's talk about why I think Apple blew it. You blew it! Let's break it down as the video announcement did with a tiny Tim Cook. The 16e does join the family as its most affordable member. Okay, well, technically, yes. This is the most affordable iPhone 16, but not the most affordable iPhone. More on that in a few minutes. I don't like to talk phone specs too much. I would rather focus on the experience of using the phone. But in this instance, I gotta call out the BS. Whenever Apple shows off the silicon chip, we get a little graphic that shows the number of the CPU and GPU cores that are on it. Timmy spoke as the A18 chip to start, the same as the iPhone 16s. The next presenter also stated their latest generation Apple Silicon A18. But no little graphic of the chip's internal setup. Why? Oh, that's because it's not the exact same chip as the 16s. It's a bin chip, which means it doesn't have all the power of the full chips. The CPU is the same as the 6 cores, but the GPU is only 4 instead of the normal 5 cores. Let me be very clear. This is not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. Yes, the iPhone might be a little less powerful than the other iPhone 16s, but let's be honest, unless you're an iPhone power user, and this phone is not aimed at power users, by the way, you aren't gonna notice any performance issues.
That's what she said.
The only reason I have a problem with this lack of mentioning it is because it feels like Apple's trying to hide that information. Moving to my other favorite thing are the percentage improvements that fly across the screen, showing it's 40% faster than the SE3. Then it's 80% faster than the iPhone 11. A phone that's over 6 years old? Really? I mean, it better be. Then another techie thing that people really just don't care about, but of course they had to mention it, is the kind of modem being used in the phone. It's the first in-house made chip, which brings up a couple questions. Number 1, if it's the first of its kind, is it any good? And 2, if it's made in-house, shouldn't it be cheaper to make? That second question becomes more important in a couple minutes. Then there's mention of the redesigned interior to allow for a larger battery. Finally, something that everyone cares about. We need better battery life. How big is the battery? Well, Apple never tells us. What kind of battery life can we expect? Well, this 16e is supposed to have the most unprecedented battery life ever in a 6.1-inch iPhone, whatever that means, allowing for up to 26 hours of video play. But we've seen Apple make similar claims about battery life in the past, and that just didn't pan out. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Since we're talking about battery life, I have a question for you. How long do you expect your iPhone's battery to last? Go ahead and leave your comment down below. Oh, and of course, if you're enjoying this content, hit that sub button and ring that notification bell so you won't miss my review on this budget iPhone. How about charging that battery, Apple? It's the same as all the other iPhones, right? You couldn't possibly do anything that would leave us scratching our heads, could you? Same USB-C port as a 16, super fast charging, supports wireless charging too. All right, let's, whoa. Wait a second, pump the brakes. Where's the MagSafe? Look. I use MagSafe every day. I'm not sure it's at the top of everyone's list of needs for a phone, but this has been the norm since the iPhone 12. How much did you really save leaving this out? Come on.
iPhone 16e also has Apple Intelligence.
Why? I get that Apple Intelligence is the latest and greatest, even though, let's be honest, it's really not that great. I'd pick having MagSafe over Apple Intelligence any day. What about you? What iPhone feature couldn't you care less about? Go ahead and leave me a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Now let's talk about the camera. According to Apple, the 16e has a custom 48 megapixel camera with a built-in 2x zoom, which are the same specs as every main camera shooter since the iPhone 14. So I'm not exactly sure what is custom about this, other than the fact that you're only getting one lens instead of a second ultra-wide lens. Something seems fishy. At least they didn't make the front-facing camera or video quality worse. Then again, we need to wait for video comparisons. Now, I know people using that SE3 really love their home button. If you're one of those people, I've got some bad news for you.
And it's gone.
What?
It's gone. It's all gone.
In my opinion, this would have been a perfect opportunity to add the sleep-wake thumbprint button, just like the iPads. But instead, we've got Face ID, which honestly is pretty impressive at this point. Oh, by the way, does anybody care that this phone has a notch instead of the island? No? Great. Moving on. Since I'm on a roll with disappointing features, if you care about the color of your iPhone, sorry, you're gonna have to choose between black and white. But good news! You can buy a colorful case to cover it up for only 39 bucks. I'll just go ahead and leave a link for some Spigen cases in the description. They're cheaper and they look better. Now, there is a bit of good news among all of this. The storage starts at 128 gigs. Yay for small victories.
Now for the main event.
The price, starting at $599. What? I couldn't be more disappointed. I knew it was too much to expect the same $429 starting price as the SE3, but I feel like $599 is a bit of a stretch. And that brings me to my final thoughts. Throughout the entire event, video, whatever you want to call this, it felt like Timmy and the crew were seriously trying to oversell this phone, comparing it to a 6-year-old phone, pushing a custom camera that does the same thing as cameras that already exist. I can go on and on and on and on. It's almost as if they knew $599 was too much to ask, but they decided to do it anyway. Will this phone still sell? I mean, it's still the cheapest iPhone Apple has to offer, and I'm sure mobile companies will subsidize the hell out of this phone and offer it for free, i.e. get credits for 24 months towards the phone, but if you leave, you have to either turn the phone in or pay it off. It's still a contract. There are cheaper Android phones out there with the same, if not better specs. Pixel 8a. Sorry. Now, of course, I did order one reluctantly, and we'll be doing a full review to see if it's something worth spending your money on, so stay tuned for that. Now, the good news is the iPhone 16 will still work with wireless CarPlay, thank God. If your car doesn't have wireless CarPlay, check out this video right here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, so you won't miss any of my upcoming videos. See ya.